Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Top 5 ShareFile Shortcuts to Save You Time. My name is Rebecca, and I'll be your moderator. And with me today, I have Liz Gillum and Christina Ritter. Christina is one of our many wonderful customer success managers here at ShareFile and enjoys working with our users to find the best way ShareFile and other Citrix products can help your business succeed. Welcome, Christina. Excuse me, welcome, Liz. Nope, that was for welcome, Christina. I'm so sorry. Liz joined the Citrix ShareFile team in 2015 as a senior program marketing manager with a passion for helping customers in the tech industry. Liz is responsible for developing programs and content to make ShareFile easier for you to use. Welcome, Liz. On our agenda today, we will be reviewing how to automatically safeguard your files within Microsoft Outlook, our print to share file feature, sync, the desktop app, and finally our mobile app. We would really like to hear from you and would like to include your voice in the conversation today, so please ask questions and share your comments by using the question and answer panel at any time during the webinar. Additionally, we are recording today's session and we'll be sharing that recording out with everyone shortly after the conclusion of our webinar. Okay, Liz, let's get started.
Great. Good afternoon. I think I said good morning earlier, and welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you on today's webinar. To kick us off here, we have a little information we just wanted to share, and if you can progress us one more click, Christina. What I like to do at the top of every webinar is just really ground us in who we are at ShareFile. We know you guys have all seen the product before, but it's just such a great reminder of who we are and what we do here. At Citrix, we empower customers to provide secure and reliable access to apps and data. That's what we do. And we do it on any device across any platform. At Citrix ShareFile, we were founded on the principle of enabling businesses and IT professionals to work the way they want. And we have been growing at ShareFile. We've now passed 65,000 business customers, and we have more than 20 million users. 99% of the Fortune 500 are represented in the ShareFile user base. And when we think about what we offer, we kind of think of it in 4 tenets. And that's what you're seeing in these little circular balls around our logo there. And the first and foremost is secure and reliable cloud storage. Security is key at Citrix. It's one of the first things that we think about when you're making a move into the cloud. We are airtight and protecting your files and information. The second is around customized account management. And that has a lot to do with user controls, making sure you have a lot of flexibility in what clients see, what employees see, and then what you see as an admin or overseeing the entire account. We also think about collaboration, and that has a lot to do with simple and efficient workflows. We actually have a whole webinar just on this topic and some of the collaboration tools we offer. But if you're unfamiliar with it, go take a look at our webinars. They're on sharefile.com/support. But there are a couple of features in there that are just great to get to know. Things like our feedback and approvals workflows that simplifies the way if you have lots of people collaborating on the same document, how do they give you feedback? How do they make edits? And how is it trackable and auditable? And then last but not least, it goes without saying, it's any device, making sure that we offer flexible and secure access from your nearest internet-enabled device. We have apps, we have desktop solutions, and of course, we can also work on a tablet. All right, let's move on then today into the fun stuff. To wake us up and make sure you're all still with us today, we're going to show you some shortcuts today, but I'd like to know first, what are you doing today? Before knowing these shortcuts, how do you get your files into ShareFile today? We've got a couple of different ShareFile tools here. Just click off the one that you use most frequently, and then Rebecca's gonna help share the answers.
Yeah, we're still seeing some responses come in, but it looks like the majority of our users upload their files through the web application, with the desktop app and email plugin for Outlook coming in close second and third.
Awesome. That's great. We love to kind of know where you're at today so that we can kind of cater this webinar for you today. If you use the web application as your primary source of getting into ShareFile today, that is certainly a good thing. You're just fine doing that. But today's presentation is going to be a lot of fun for you because we're going to show you a lot of other shortcuts and ways that you can in a more automated way get documents and information into ShareFile. And if nothing else, I'm betting even if you're using one of these today, we're going to uncover something else that maybe you haven't heard of before. As a reminder, when we talk about getting data into ShareFile and different shortcuts that you have, there's no one right way or one wrong way. We usually say yes and here, not no but. Yes, keep using the web application and try out one of these shortcuts. I use most of them. I have 4 or 5 different apps and shortcuts installed on my ShareFile instance so that no matter where I am, I have an easy way to access ShareFile and get information into ShareFile. Okay, so I told you we're going to look at 5 different shortcuts today. Let's go ahead and get into the first one. Christina, if you can move us along. Before we show you exactly what that first one is, we do want to just point out how you get all of these. Each shortcut can be found within your ShareFile account. So think of going to citrix.sharefile.com or whatever your subdomain is. There's a little button in the top right corner that says Apps. Everything that we talk about today is found up there. That's where you're going to go to download it. There's also some takeaway information for you today if you'd like a hard copy of some of this. If you look in the chat section of your web meeting today, you'll see a link. It's a ShareFile link, and that has 3 documents in there for you, one of which walks you through exactly this, how to click on the apps button and how to find these apps, and it kind of recaps everything I'm going to show you today. So go ahead, feel free to get those now, or we'll also follow up after the webinar with a reminder of that link. All right, now for real, let's go see the first one, Christina. We're going to start with one of our most popular shortcuts for ShareFile, and this is the plugin for Microsoft Outlook. I'm going to go ahead and start with the best thing about this, which is if you are a longtime ShareFile user and you have a split company between PCs and Macs, if you use both machines or predominantly Macs in your business, we have a new ShareFile for Outlook with Mac support option for you. So what you've seen on the Windows devices for a while, we now have a version. It's a little bit different, but still general functionality available for Macs. What this allows you to do is share large and secure files directly from Microsoft Outlook. So if I wanted to share something, I don't have to think, okay, let me go open up the web browser and find my file and right-click and share. I could just do it within my email, maybe at the point I was thinking about it, by clicking a little icon that Christina is going to show us in just a second and sharing straight from there. We can also do a really neat thing here around email encryption. And I know these are easier to see than to hear, so we're going to jump into the demonstration here in just a second. But this allows us to encrypt not just the attachments of an email, but the actual copy of your email. That, dear so-and-so, I really wanted to take a few minutes to discuss your next tax return. And maybe you say a couple sensitive things in that email that we can all cite a few examples recently. We wouldn't want to make it into the public domain. We can actually encrypt the body of your email on top of just the attachments. So this is a really great shortcut. It's one of our most popular. And with that, Christina, can you give us a preview of what it looks like?
Absolutely. So I'm going to start here at the beginning just so everyone fully understands how to access it. You'll go to your ShareFile account and sign in. And as Liz mentioned from that picture, the Apps tab is in the upper right-hand corner of your account. So I will navigate to my Apps tab, and along the left side, you'll see the different tabs for Windows versus Mac users. So on the top of each page for both Windows and Mac, you will see the Outlook app that we have for you. I will show you first what the Outlook for Windows will look like, and then also just give you a quick demo of what it will look like if you're on a Mac. But for either, the instructions to download it are located within the green button, and these Learn More articles that are right next to it are so helpful. When you guys are doing the download, I would have this article up. It walks you through step by step with screenshots, how to install and how to get started. So to begin with the plugin for Outlook, you will click download, and when you relaunch your Outlook, what you'll see is a green S in the upper right-hand corner. And from this plugin options that you see, you have so much control in terms of how you want to use the integration. You can control how long your files will last for in this email, the type of security you want to include, such as a password requirement or a name and email requirement, notification options for do you want to know when people download and upload or not. So configure all of this to your personal security standards and liking. But within a new email, I'll drag it over for you. What you will see here are a few additional green icons just built right into your Outlook on your Windows. So the gray paperclip is still here for you. If you need to attach a regular file, we are not taking away that right from you. We're just giving you the option with the green paperclip over here to safeguard it. So this can either be a sensitive and confidential document or a very large file. ShareFile does both. It's not just about securing, but it's also about making sure those huge documents don't get caught up in your outbox. So from the attach button, you simply browse for the file. It can not only be on your computer, but it can be stored in a ShareFile folder, and you can actually pull the document right from there as well. But you will just browse for the file and attach. And as soon as you see that big, beautiful ShareFile image, you are good to go. Your file is secure, and the recipient of the email will see this exact same image. They will click download on that big green button, and their file will appear for them based on the security preferences that you're asking for. So that is it for attaching. It's no more time or energy. It's just a matter of choosing the green paperclip instead of the gray one. So now if you need to get a file back from somebody, whether they are a ShareFile user or not, you have an option for them. Underneath the green paperclip is a button that says Request Files. Give it one simple click, and it will import this link for you as well as a complete sentence. And the recipient of the email will click on the blue link, and they're prompted with very basic instructions to upload a file. That file they upload will be secure and encrypted, and we will email you with a link to download the file once they do. You can customize the sentence and click send. Now the final option within Outlook for Windows is this lock in the upper left. You see it says encryption off, but don't let that worry you when you start using it. It does not mean that your attachment and your request link have not been encrypted. What that is indicating is that the message that I'm typing is not currently being encrypted. So everything I'm saying right now in this typed message is technically available were a hacker to try to grab it. But if you wanted to type out a social security number, maybe a date of birth or a credit card, now you need to worry about securing this. So what you'll do is simply click the lock in the upper left. Once it says on, the body of your message has been secured as well. And this is a two-way security feature. So if you need to ask someone for their social security number, you can type out that question, and by turning the lock on, you're allowing the recipient the right to type you back safely. So you can have two-way sensitive data exchange in the body of your email. Now again, this is the Outlook on a Windows version. I'd like to show you here what it would look like if you're on Mac. So inside of a new email on your Mac, you will see off to the right-hand side within the Apps tab, the Share and Request Files buttons. Your settings are in the bottom right. You can see here you can edit again the sign-in, the notifications, and when you choose to share or request a file, you will pick the location that you have it stored in, upload, and insert that link. And that link that pops in should have the exact same image associated with it as you saw in Outlook for Windows. To reiterate, it does not yet have the encrypted email for the body, but you do have secure both sharing and requesting now on a Mac. And to bring us back to the start, that is from the Apps page within the Apps for Windows and Mac tab. All right, coming back to you, Liz, for our next shortcut.
Thanks so much, Christina. One of the things I loved about your demo right now is the ability for clients, whether they're ShareFile users or not, to follow the same security protocols that you require of your employees in your business. And I remember we were at a conference earlier this year with some of our legal professionals at Legal Tech earlier this year, and we were talking to a number of folks about what do you do in your business around security compliance when it comes to email. And they're saying, well, we try to talk to our clients about if you have something secure to share, please pick up the phone and call, or we'll maybe have them sign something at the beginning when they initiate something, or maybe we put something in our email signatures that say, please do not share confidential information over this channel. But we said, okay, does that work? And some folks said, yeah, most of the time. But inevitably, even when you tell somebody, hey, that's not a secure channel, we're all in habits, all day. And, inevitably somebody's going to do it. Somebody is going to send you something in an email that's unsecured despite your best efforts. So those things around requesting file links or initiating a communication with email encryption, they go ahead and suggest the right behavior at the point of contact with a client. So I hit this especially with folks either in regulated industries, if you're in healthcare, if you're in legal or insurance or finance, as well as folks that just have, sensitive information that they're talking about with other vendors or contract negotiations that you don't want out in the public. If you have any concerns about your client or your fellow colleague at another business maybe not following your best recommendation, try out those request links or go ahead and initiate the communication via encrypted email because you're saying, hey, this is just our best practice. When we work together, this is what you do. So anyway, that was just 2 cents from a conference earlier this year. And that's kind of the protocol a bunch of our attorneys were adopting. All right, moving on to shortcut number 2. Remember at the beginning of this session, I said this is a yes and, not a no but. This is a yes and conversation. If you like Outlook, that's great. If you like this one too, do both of them. It just makes ShareFile so much easier to use. This is our print to ShareFile shortcut. And what it allows you to do is to open a file and go to File Print, just like you were going to print any other document from a physical paper printer. But instead, ShareFile is installed as Print Driver, and it'll allow you to securely upload that document into the cloud and into the ShareFile secure environment without having to save it to your hard drive. So this is really common we see for folks who are trying to upload files from other programs into ShareFile. Maybe you're using QuickBooks, maybe you're in an EMR, whatever the environment. If you're not allowed to save a document to your desktop or you just don't want to, but you have it open right in front of you, just go to File, Print, save it to ShareFile, and Christina can show us what this looks like.
Sure thing. So pulling back up the apps page here, this is a Windows tool only. So I'm on the Windows tab, scrolling on down to Print to ShareFile here. So you will do that simple download, have that Learn More article up in case you need some assistance. And I'm going to pull up a basic form here. Now, just pretend that this document is inside of your own software or program that you use. So it works the same in any application. So I need to upload this to ShareFile. I'm going to go File, Print, and on my printer setup page, I'm going to make sure that from my printer dropdown, I'm choosing the Citrix Print to ShareFile printer. That way, no paper copies are going to come out of the printer nearby. When you click Print, it will trigger your virtual printer. It usually takes about 5 seconds, so this one requires just a moment of patience. And then this will pop up for you. So one of the very convenient aspects of this is you can rename the file before you upload it to ShareFile. So if you need to add in a client's name or make the title more succinct in case you have a lot of letters and numbers on there, you adjust it. And from here, you have a few options. You can upload it straight to a ShareFile folder by selecting it and clicking Upload. But you also have the option from the More Actions panel to email it safely as well. So this is kind of an all-encompassing tool. You can upload to a folder, you can safely email it out. If you have our other tool called Write Signature, you can send it off for signature from here. So this is a way for you to take a document out of any program or application and use whatever ShareFile feature you need to share it. So I'll click Upload. And just like that, that file was taken out of my program on my computer that I'm using and uploaded to that ShareFile folder with the new name. What this saves you from having to do is save a copy locally. Normally when you're in your software, for example, if you're an accountant and you're in QuickBooks or ListCert, or you're in your AMS if you're in insurance, or you're in your EMR if you're in healthcare, you have to save a copy of it first to your local computer in your documents or your desktop for you to be able to upload it. But not with Print to ShareFile. You get to skip that middle step completely and just go straight from Program A to ShareFile. All right, that is shortcut number 2. So jumping back to our presentation.
Thanks so much, Christina. That's a really popular one, and I think one of our best kept secrets at ShareFile. If you're thinking about taking notes here and you're madly scribbling anything down, I'll just put out a reminder again that we do have all of these written down with instructions to download. That's available in our chat feature. There's a ShareFile link in there. Go ahead and grab that at your convenience, and we'll also follow that up in our email after today's webinar. Okay, shortcut number 3 is a tool we call Sync to ShareFile. The first 2 things that we shared with you today are a little bit more at the point of action. So you actually had to go click and do something and consciously upload or share a file through ShareFile. Sync to ShareFile is one of those things that's really great just running in the background all the time. If you're saving documents to your computer all day, every day, and maybe you don't remember to upload to ShareFile, but you really need a secure backup option, Sync is a great tool for you. Sync is just like a mirror. Think of it just like a mirror in any other situation, and it creates a duplicate copy of whatever's on your personal computer in ShareFile. So you can access, on top of that, within your kind of My Documents area, you can share folders, you know, you can save them, access them, share them, whatever. But the commonality between all of these is that you can, it kind of hits you wherever your normal behavior is today. If you're used to going to My Documents for every single file, keep doing that. Just create a sync version of that. It'll pop up right underneath, and this is the version for you. So Christina, this is another one. It's easier to see than to hear. Let's go take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sync is another really simple tool to get started with. It is on the apps page here with options available to you for both Windows and Mac. So navigate to the right tab and look for the Sync tool. You will download it, and it will install into this File Explorer window here underneath your Favorites tab. So this is the Sync tool that we are looking at. And what it's going to ask you to do when you first download it is tell it which folders do you actually want to sync. This is a very important step because that way you get to decide which folders and files you're keeping local copies of. The reason you want to be selective is that it's taking up local space on your actual computer on your hard drive. So just be careful when you're syncing that you're choosing just the folders you really need to be able to access online and offline, because again, you're able to access them offline due to it being stored on your actual computer. So for example, I have synced my personal folders. So when I click into them, the green check mark indicates that everything is perfectly synced and up to date. So whatever I see here is what I will see in my web app in the folders. Now I can download any of these files. I can drag and drop files right in from this File Explorer interface, and it will sync and basically push that change up into the web app. So anything that's done in one location is done in the other. They're just 2 perfect mirror images of each other. And really this is convenient, especially if you do a lot of traveling and you find yourself in areas with spotty Wi-Fi. you're on planes without any internet, you're able to still get the job done then. Even though you cannot log in online, you can pull up your File Explorer and access any of the folders you've synced. Now, even if you upload a file when you're not in internet, it will hold on to that change for you until you re-enter an internet connection, and then it will sync those changes back up to our cloud. So again, it's work whenever, regardless of internet. And that way, spotty Wi-Fi, traveling, anything like that will not prevent you from getting done what you need to. All right, heading back over to our next tip.
Yeah, Christina, what I love about that one is just the sit and let go. Once you kind of get it set up and you choose which folders you'd like to sync, it's automatically syncing anything that you save on your desktop up into ShareFile, or saving your My Documents up into ShareFile. So you don't have to worry about which version was in ShareFile. Did I go back and access it? If you're already working from the web application, that's fine too. And that's your default behavior. You go to your ShareFile link, you access all folders and files in there. That's great. You can keep doing that. But if you find yourself in a hybrid role where sometimes you're accessing them from your Finder window, sometimes you're going into ShareFile, this is a great thing to just sit and let run to make sure you're always getting a copy. The worst phone call we can get is, hey, my laptop crashed, we don't have anything. Oh, and I forgot to sync my files to ShareFile. This is a great way to make sure they're just in there all the time. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. All right, let's go to number 4, Christina. This one is very similar to Sync to ShareFile, and it's called the desktop app. So I'm going to try to be really clear about the differences here. The desktop app sits on your desktop, and it's just like an app on a mobile device. Think about, you pull up your iPhone, you got all the little squares of different apps, and you click on one, and it gives you a preview of what's in your app. That's exactly what this is, only it's on your desktop. It's very similar in that you can navigate files, you can share files. The big difference between Sync and desktop is where the file is stored. So on Sync, you had a local copy on your computer, as well as a mirrored copy in ShareFile. On the desktop app, the only copy of the file is in the cloud. It's in ShareFile. I'll say that one more time. On Sync, you have a mirrored copy, a local copy of a file on your hard drive, as well as one in ShareFile. On desktop app, the copy is only in ShareFile. So the great thing about this is that you can save space on your computer. If you have massive numbers of files and data, this is a great IT solution to keep every user from having to download and access massive amounts of data on their own personal hard drives. And it makes sure everybody has access to everything. It's just like a little window into an app. And you can open and edit files within the desktop app. You get the behavior just like you had the file on your own laptop, but you're saving all that space on your hard drive, and it's just in ShareFile. So let's take a look. Christina.
Alrighty, guys, back to the apps page just to show you where to find it. We do have one for Mac and Windows, so here's where you would download it. Again, same thing on both pages, second from the top. So after you download it and you get that green S installed somewhere on your desktop, you'll just double click into it, and it is only going to ask you to log in one time. So once you log in once, it will keep you logged in. Now, let me just pull mine back up here. So from the top hand side now is where you're going to be navigating from. So just from this top drop down, you can see all of your different folders, the different connectors that you have. And to reiterate, you do need internet access to be able to access these files, but it's not taking up that local storage. So I'm going to pull mine back up here. Within any of these folders, you can click into them, access all of your files, just like you would from the web app without having to pull up a web browser. Now, one of the additional tools within the desktop app is the open and edit feature. So if you have a Microsoft file that you need to make a quick edit to and you do not want to have to download it, make your change, resave it to your computer, and then re-upload it, inside of the desktop app, you can do a much faster option called Open and Edit. You can right-click the file, select Open and Edit, and it is going to pop open that document for you. So here is a Word document that I need to make some changes to. I will make the changes, click Save, just by simply clicking that little icon in the upper left. And by clicking that Save button, I just re-uploaded it to ShareFile right back into the folder it came from. Now, I did not have to resave it and then go back in and re-upload it. It just does it for you automatically. So now, if I relaunch it, you'll see that there is a blue little icon right here that indicates multiple versions. So if I click into it, it shows me the original that I uploaded earlier, as well as the current version. So it'll hold on to both. You can get back to an older edit if you need, but you're able to do that very fast editing of Microsoft files. Again, you can drag and drop in, download what you need, create folders, share documents. So it's a great shortcut to not use the web app if you really enjoy just working right from your desktop screen. All right, so that is desktop app. And back to you, Liz.
Great, thanks. That is such a great tool if you are maybe in a business where you're trying to set a mandate about how files are secured and shared, and you're going to ShareFile exclusively. That's one of the best ways to ensure your employees are doing it, is just remove the functionality to do otherwise and only offer files through the desktop app. That is definitely an option. Just go ahead and start to build that behavior. This could replace your My Documents navigator. That's totally up to you. Certainly don't have to do that. But that's just one thing that we see from time to time. The other thing I will call out here, again, if you're a longtime ShareFile user, is you can see in the screenshot, you are looking at a Mac version right there of the desktop app as well. We released that several months ago, but it's still new to some folks. This feature is available on a Mac and on a PC. It's a great one. Go tell your Mac friends if they don't know about it. All right, so feature number 5. Let's do the last one. This is kind of the obligatory, of course we always have this one. This is our mobile app. So of everything else that you've seen today, those are really desktop features. They're assuming you're sitting at a physical computer and you have a screen in front of you. You can always reference files on the fly as well. And you can use your smartphone or your tablet. We have Android and Apple devices that will allow you to have all the full functionality that you have of ShareFile on your desktop on the go. So download this. I can't tell you what a game changer it can be just to be able to say, hey, I need to see XYZ file. Can you take a look and approve something? Or can you send me something real fast and you're on vacation? Of course, you can just pull up your phone, tap the ShareFile icon, send it over. And we have a little video of this, just so I know we don't have a phone held up in front of a screen right now, but Christina's going to walk us through a short video clip of what this looks like.
Absolutely. So, yep, we are going on a journey here into a smartphone so that you can see. We're looking at the home screen right now. We've got a few other apps, but we are going to click into ShareFile right here. So once you are inside of the ShareFile app, it auto logs you in, so time saver there. And here are the folders that you have access to. Click into any file and folder that you need, access any of these subfolders, any file types, or you have the option to put something into a folder. Now, from a mobile device, it is so easy to upload a photo or video because your smartphone has them on there already. So in this case, we are uploading either from a camera roll or taking a brand new photo live. So we are snapping our W-2 so that we can send a copy to our CPA. You can see a Han Solo there working in Jedi space, sending his W-2. You can rename the file just like you can in the desktop app. So instead of having that long number and letter name, make it nice and concise. And you also have the option then to type in the details before you do the upload. So think about how you could make this work based on your industry. If you're in architecture, real estate, construction, you're always on site and on the go. Maybe you're a traveling nurse and you're very frequently working in different offices. You're a businessman who's traveling, or anyone who just loves working from their smartphone. So we're finishing up the details here, and we are going to click upload. Now it will upload that image right into the ShareFile folder, which is of course syncing with your cloud account. So now you have access to this photo from any of our apps and devices. If you wanted to view the photo, you have the option right there in the app to preview it and just scroll left or right to see the entire image. And then you can just back out using that green arrow to go right back into the folder that you uploaded it to. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so that's a mobile app. You can download it for free from your app store within your device.
Thanks so much, Christina. That's such a good one to end on. And we should just confirm one more time, you know, everything else that we've shown you is available from inside the ShareFile, your ShareFile web browser. This obviously is one that you go to direct to the App Store, go to the Apple Store, go to the, you know, non-Apple Store. You can tell I'm
Google
back
Play.
Google Play, there we go. And you can download it there. Thanks, Christina. All right, so now that we've been through our 5 shortcuts of the day, I'm dying to know, we're going to launch another little poll here. What was your favorite, and which shortcut are you most likely to use? You're not going to hurt our feelings if you say you'll continue using the web application. That is a great place to go. There's no reason to stop doing that. Remember, this is a yes and. You could say all of the above. You could say maybe 1 or 2. But Rebecca, what are we seeing? What are most people going to use?
Well, we've still got some responses coming in, but it looks like Sync to ShareFile and Email Plugin from Microsoft Outlook are the favorites. But you know what? Print to ShareFile and Desktop app are not far behind. It looks like everyone's really excited about these.
That's great. I love that set it and forget it on Sync. I love the ease of Microsoft Outlook. Goodness knows we all spend way more time in there than we'd probably like, and it's just such a natural point to go ahead and pull up a document within your email. I should also say we always get this question of, hey, do you work with other email clients beyond Microsoft Outlook? We did just launch a Gmail plugin. We didn't talk about it today, but it's very similar to the Microsoft Outlook options. You kind of download it as an extension from the Chrome store, but that's another option. Just want to confirm that for those of you that are interested. Okay, as we start to wrap up here, Christina, if you can take us to the last slide, I did just want to remind everyone again, here are our 5 apps that we talked about. You can go into Microsoft Outlook and just use it at your point of email. We had that print to ShareFile option. That's the thing that looks like a file print, only no paper comes out. You're just hooking it back up into ShareFile. We have the set it and forget it. That's the sync to ShareFile. It's just constantly keeping everything mapped into ShareFile. We have the desktop app, and that's the big difference there because it's not storing anything locally on your computer. Everything's in ShareFile, and it's just like a mobile app on your desktop. And then, of course, we have the mobile apps. If you would like a copy of all of these and instructions on how to get them, the last call out, we do have a link in the chat section today, a ShareFile link to 3 documents, one of which talks about these apps. Thank you, Rebecca, for dropping it in there one more time. You can go in there and grab that. We have some other materials in there too. If we can go one more slide, Christina.
Sure thing.
Anything that you saw today and you thought, man, I'd really, I'm realizing maybe I don't have a strong hold on ShareFile, or there's just more than a little question, more than something I'd call support with or look on a help article. I really need some help figuring out how to customize ShareFile for my business. I do want to call out that we have a great care program. It's called Smart Start. It's a $99 guided personal training program with a dedicated customer success manager. And that's going to be somebody like Christina. If I can brag on Christina for just a moment, she is one of our mini CSMs. She's fantastic. You may get Christina, you may get somebody else. very similar to her, but she can work with you for 3 days on really building out a custom plan of what your ShareFile instance should look like for your business. For more information, you can email customersuccess@sharefile.com, or going back to that same link in your chat box. One of the files talks a little bit more about this program and has an email link for you to learn more about it. All right, that brings us to the top of our webinar. And Rebecca, I'm sure we got a few questions. What can we answer?
All right, thank you, Liz and Christina. We have had a bunch of questions come in, and before we get to those, I'd just like to encourage everyone to keep sending your questions in. So let's see. One of the most common ones, and I know we talked about this, but maybe you can just show where to download it again. Do you need Outlook to use the ShareFile plugin, or can you use Gmail?
Wonderful question. Yeah, let me go ahead and just show you where to get it. Back in your ShareFile account apps page, which is our favorite page of the day here, it will be under the apps for Windows. Scroll on down, ShareFile for Gmail listed right here. It is going to have the same functionality you saw of the Mac Outlook. So it will have the share and request button there for you, the ability to program your security settings, your notification options, and it will be built into your Chrome browser. So right now I'm actually in Chrome, and you'll see in the upper right-hand corner I have a little gray S. It's very small, but that is the the integration, if you will, for ShareFile for Gmail, the installation, I should say. So that is how you know it is installed. So when you open up Gmail, you'll see you have the additional ShareFile icons to insert those safe links and insert the safe request link as well.
All right, great. Thank you, Christina. Next question. When someone clicks the link to upload a document from like an email signature or anywhere else you'd put a request link, where does that document get uploaded to in ShareFile?
Good question. That is actually dependent on how you program your settings. So within your settings, I'll click into the plugin options as this example. Within the requesting files tab, and this is within the ShareFile for Mac, the Gmail as well. When you click into the requesting files section, you'll see there is an upload location. This is what determines where the file goes. So your file box is located in your ShareFile account within the Folders tab. Every user has their own file box. And think of it as a temporary storage zone where everything you send and request back using email with ShareFile will go into that file box. So when someone clicks that link in your email signature, or when you just click request files and put that link into your email, the file is technically going to this file box, but we'll email you as the default with a link to download the file. And you'll also notice it's sitting in the file box. You can edit the location if you don't want it to go there. For example, some people will create a folder specifically for these uploads. You can make that folder the upload location. And so instead of it going to your file box, it goes to a designated folder in your account. Now, I think it's worth showing you your file box here. So within the folders, it is right here. Again, it kind of reiterates for you what it is, but it's a temporary storage zone for the files that you send and request. They'll be here for 180 days, and then we will auto-delete them out for you.
All right, great. Thank you, Christina. We had a couple of related questions. The first one is does there have to be an expiration date on a request link, or is there some way we can make that indefinite?
Good question again. You do have the option within your settings here within the email to not have it expire. My options are being a little bit funky here with my screen share. Hopefully you guys can see them. So within the general section, the expiration policy has everything from a 1-day expiration to never. So if you leave it on never, then those links that you're sending for both attachments and requested documents will remain active permanently. But you can, as you saw, change it to a few different options, such as a week, 6 months, a year, just based on how long you want those to stay available for.
Okay, great, thank you. And then I think the last request link question we've had come in if you send a request link to someone for them to upload files, do they need to be a ShareFile customer?
Oh, great question. They do not. So it couldn't be easier. You could send this link to your neighbor, your mother, your brother, your best friend. They don't need to even know what ShareFile is. You can simply send it to them, and based on the security settings you've programmed, you can either ask for their name and email address before they upload. You can allow them to set up a password if they would feel more secure that way. Or you can select neither, and when they click the link to upload, they simply browse, click upload, and it gets sent over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next
Sure.
question is about attaching emails in ShareFile. And to securely attach a file through ShareFile, does it have to be in your ShareFile account, or can you attach something that's maybe on an internal server or on your computer?
Good question. So when you're attaching something as a ShareFile attachment, you have both options. You can attach it from ShareFile, or you can simply attach it from your computer. So then when this window pops up, you have access to everything along this left-hand side, your desktop, your server, all of your documents, and you can upload it directly from your computer.
Fantastic. And then I think the last question that we've had come in, can you just show us one more time where to download these apps?
Absolutely. That will be a great way to wrap it up here. So when you're in your account, I'll just start from the beginning. You'll log in and be brought to your dash. In the upper right-hand corner, it's right next to log out. You will click on apps. And then from here, you can choose between Windows or Mac based on the type of user, and you'll see everything listed. So if you see it, it is free. Feel free to explore, give it a try. These are mostly employee user applications, but some are even available to client users, such as the desktop app and mobile apps.
All right, great. Well, I think that about wraps it up today. So thank you, Christina. And I hope everyone was able to take away some great learnings from our webinar today. Again, just to remind you, you'll receive a link to the recording. And if we didn't get to your question, we'll make sure that Christina or one of our many other customer success managers will contact you directly to address it. Thank you so much, Liz and Christina. And thank you all for taking time out of your busy day today to spend time with us. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.